Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I would like to share with you guys my official thoughts on the SOG Terminus XR in gray G10 and D2 blade material. I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. I don't really believe this knife deserves your guys' time for too long, honestly. Just want to put that out there first of all. Let's get into specs right away. So, overall length is 7 inches, and again, I'm pulling this information off of Blade HQ, my favorite online retailer. I got this guy for $54.95. So it's not expensive by any means. It's still very much a budget knife. Specs, again, apologize for that. 7 inches overall blade length, 3 inches cutting edge, 2.75, which is amazing. I love smaller knives. I've mentioned that before in the past. Just easier to control and manipulate and all that. D2 blade material, and it's not a black wash, it's just black coated. I don't really know what the coating is on this. It's pretty much a flat ground knife with a small switch up there and drop point style, if I didn't mention that before. So this is using D2 blade material, and I love D2. I genuinely do. I don't have an issue in my area with rust or corrosion or things like that. It sharpens up extremely well. On paper, with the price and the design and the specs and materials, this sounds like it's, this should be just really knocking it out of the park. But for me, it didn't. I love how it looks. I love how it feels in the hand. I love the blade shape. Whether if it was the satin or the black finish, there are a handful of different color options. There's even a higher end version, which is like 115 or something like that. It's just like, it has a bunch of carbon fiber and upgraded blade material to S35VN, which is cool and all. But I figured I'm not going to take a chance on buying something from a brand I've never really experienced before. This is my first, hopefully not a final experience with the SOG company. Let me know later down in the comments if there are any knives that you guys would think that would actually impress me, but this did leave kind of a sour taste in my mouth. If you guys saw my initial unboxing and first reactions to this knife, I was extremely disappointed and super unimpressed. This is using a couple different opening methods, and I love fidgeting, and I love the fact that they get pretty creative when it comes to opening methods. So it has flipper right here, just a little low profile flipper. It is shaped in a way to where you can, just like button press it or actually like light switch it. But either way, it's good now. It was pretty rough when I unboxed it. It was really disappointing. The open and closing method, or I guess the locking system that it's using, is the crossbar style lock. It's a bar that interacts with the tang of the blade, and it's spring loaded with omega springs within the scales. And with that tension, pushes this bar up right behind the blade, locking it. With that being said, there is a lot of rock. I know you guys can't really see that over the camera. I don't really know how to, so if I'm holding this here, maybe I could, hopefully you guys can get that, but that does not inspire confidence, not with me. The thumb studs, they're cool. I definitely do enjoy the top thumb stud, or just, right-handed thumb stud. And then this is a fully ambidextrous knife, so, you can use it left-handed, and it's all good. Even the reverse flick is a little bit difficult, it's a little bit tight. The detent, or just the tension caused by the locking mechanism, makes the reverse flick a little less enjoyable. It's not as snappy as I thought it would have been, like it is on plenty of other Axis style knives. Let's get into some size comparisons. I'm gonna bust out my 5 typical knives that I usually like to compare, ones that are extremely common and loved throughout the knife collecting hobby. So this is the Civivi Knives Elementum, so quite the same size. So as I mentioned before, I love the size, I love how it looks, I love the shape of it. The bench blade knives Bug Out. Bug Out is a little bit larger in handle, but I guess a little bit larger in cutting edge too, just a hair, not by much. But going back to the Axis style lock, this is the OG, this is the original. This was one of the industry's first attempts at copying the same locking mechanism after Benchmade's patent finally expired, and I don't believe they succeeded too well at that. This is another Benchmade, it's Osborne 940, standard size, not the mini or anything like that, so significantly larger. And extremely smooth, like these two guys are on washers. This is on bearings. And these guys are super smooth. The one on some bearings, it's a fail, it really is. Demco knives, 80-20.5. Close, but significantly more handle material on the 80-20.5. And last but not least, oop, that was sad, my blacked out pair 3. So very similar size actually. That pair of 3 is on washers, and it's still quite smooth in comparison. Well, let's just get right into it, I guess. We'll talk about negatives, because that's going to be majority of what this video is, unfortunately. Being honest with you guys, it's the only thing I could ever really leave you guys with, is my honesty. I'm a consumer, just like the rest of you watching this video. I don't get anything for free. Whatever overtime I get and the money I earn from that, I put towards, you know, buying knives that I believe I would enjoy. And this one was not it for me. There was a lot of elements about this knife that I was very disappointed with. Going down to the fit and finish, the blade grind, and I think that's just right about it. I do not have a flashlight with me, so it's a little bit difficult to see in there, but when closing the blade actually hits this backspacer, and I don't know what this backspacer is made out of. It might be a chunk of G10, it might just be some slightly stone textured plastic, but it actually hits that inside and has been chipping away at it, and so it probably, that's about an inch long space that it's kind of gouged out in there, which is not impressive at all. The weight, it's nice, it's a great weight actually. Doesn't really feel too heavy, doesn't feel too light and cheap. I do enjoy that it is reinforced I do enjoy that it is reinforced with steel liners and black to be all matchy including with the hardware. Another big issue with this knife is, as I mentioned before, with the lockup, does not inspire confidence, not with me, it doesn't. And also this knife forced me to buy the Torx kit, the Metal Complex, another YouTuber that does knife reviews. He recommends this one Torx bit set by the brand Weehaw, and it actually ended up breaking one of those. I also purchased the iFixit brand. Had to drive like 30 minutes from one Home Depot to the next just to go pick it up, and the second I went to go turn it, it actually broke. So I have not been able to take apart this knife and maintain it and really see the good and bad that is going on the inside. I can definitely see that there was an attempt for some weight relief within the scales. Nothing too significant, but you know, there was an attempt made, which is cool and all. The back over here has been polished, but it stops right there. What you guys can see just from this top view is all that was actually polished. The wash, or not the wash, the coating of the black itself is actually all over. It's on the flipper tab, it's on this like little half finger choil, it's down in there, and I think that's what's made the action suffer. It really has. It has softened up a lot since getting it. So the action feels like a much harder use knife, just because it's not as flippy dippy as like some of my other knives. But again, within this price point, nowadays I do expect more, and as should all of you be expecting more. The grind, I don't think there was an issue with it. No, it's good. It's good. I haven't sharpened it. The edge, the factory edge that it came with wasn't too impressive. It is a little bit thick behind the edge, but we know nowadays that doesn't really matter. So thickness behind the edge, it's a very small factor. You know, there are companies that make folding bricks basically that can whittle hairs. So it's all about edge maintenance and geometry and things like that, and the grit at which it was sharpened to, and the consistency, of course. All this billboarding on there, it is extremely unnecessary. Like, it could have just been like Terminus XR. Like, it didn't need the full breakdown of what SOG means, and there's nothing on this side. Like, I think it's kind of stupid that it's on the show side, and if they really wanted to do all that billboarding, they could have done it on the opposite side. So there's that. Pocket clip sits max deep carry. That's cool. I love that. Goes to the pocket extremely well. No hot spots, not for me at least. I do have large hands but slim fingers, and if I wanted to, I could choke up a little bit. The sharpening choil is amazing. That's how it should be done. So there are a lot more expensive knives within my collection that don't even bother doing that. So overall, this is a knife that, yes, while I do recommend, I hate the fact that I can't take this apart. This is my knife. I should be able to do as I please with it. I should be able to take it apart and clean it, because that's one of my favorite things about the knife hobby. I like being able to take it apart and see how it was constructed and just appreciate that. I want to have a much higher appreciation for this knife and this company, but I can't because it was drenched in Loctite. You know, that's sketchy to me too. Like, does SOG not believe in its customers to be able to properly disassemble and reassemble and maintain their knives? I know other brands have warranties that are voided quite similarly if knives were taken apart. Like, you void anything with Spyderco, right? You take it apart, you void certain things. With Hogue they're amazing knives, but you freaking take one little screw out and you void their warranty completely. Hogue doesn't make super expensive knives, but they do make high quality knives. But regardless, if you take them apart, you void their warranty. I believe that knife manufacturers should actually stop putting Loctite on their knives, or maybe put very light duty Loctite. If maybe they had their own proprietary light duty Loctite, that'd be cool. So I don't know if there are any cool features about the hardware about this. I wasn't able to share that with you guys. At least this unit I was not able to take apart. So I don't know if the pivot is captured. I don't know if the screws are captured, or how things are really like put together. But from what I could see from the outside, everything does seem rather well finished. But for the simple factor that I can't take this apart and really enjoy that one little aspect, I'm actually going to be giving this to a coworker. He likes the design, he likes the opening method, and I'm going to be giving this away to him. So it's not for me. This will go to make somebody else happy, and I'll make sure to sharpen it and all that. But yeah, hopefully I didn't take too much of your guys' time. And for SOG, not that I would believe that SOG or anybody affiliated with that company would actually watch one of my videos, but yeah, this was very unimpressive. I wasn't happy with the fact that the packaging was garbage. It looked like somebody already got into it. The G10 looked like it was dirty. I actually had to scrub the shit out of this knife, and the only way that I've been actually maintaining this knife was just drowning it in WD-40 and using cloths and toothpicks and cotton balls to you know, flush everything out. When I did receive it, this entire inside and back here, it was just all covered in grime and lint. So maybe this was a unit that was opened for use, or it couldn't have been for like picture taking. Like, this knife looked like it was actually already used, and I don't appreciate that. I believe that if online retailers are going to be opening a package, they should sell the ones, and it's not like these are like limited edition or anything special like that. You know, this is a freaking like $55 knife, right? I believe other online retailers do like open box discount, but I don't think Blade HQ does. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if this was an open boxed unit, I might have gotten it just because, well, every penny counts, and I believe in Blade HQ and, you know, their quality of service and customer service and things like that. But I don't know if this is really how SOG allows their knives to leave their production facility. It's just, it really isn't impressive, and I'm sorry to say that, but I hope this isn't my last experience with SOG. I did look at a lot of their new models for this coming year, and they're still utilizing the same lock, but from the reaction of a lot of other individuals that had gone to SHOT Show and other new knife debuting events, they seemed quite impressed, but also people seemed quite impressed about this one. So you could see my little dilemma here. Do I go and waste my money on a brand that I had poor experience with, or what? If there is a knife within their lineup currently that you guys think I would actually enjoy, of course, nothing crazy. Like this knife is like perfect to me. Like, I love everything about it when it comes to its general shape and the idea behind it and what this knife is supposed to be according to what it is on paper. This would have been a home run for me, but I can't take it apart. That's a huge part of what I value about the knife industry. It's quality control and fit and finish. And if I can't enjoy that, I can't enjoy the knife. I'm sorry. But would I recommend it? Sure, if it's a knife that maybe you're okay with not like beating up really. That's about it. Well, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day.